It's not a moral victory. This is the Golden State damn Warriors. We don't do moral victories. However,
you guys do.
No, when you come out of last night's game,
I'm encouraged.
Well, what would be the word? What would be the word? It's not.
It's a mixed bag.
Encouraged works for Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes, it does.
Okay?
Jonathan Blank and Kuminga, boy, he looks good.
Right. So therefore, can you extend the word encouraged to go, okay, if I'm encouraged by Jonathan Kuminga and I'm encouraged by the fact that 3 key Warrior scorers can all have an off night and on the road against a whatever you want to call the Mavs. They're not junk. They're not great right now. They're good at home. They're 9-3.
I got a box of diapers on the fact that they're not going to be a playoff team.
You do, and you're going to lose that bet. But anyway,
don't think so.
You are. But anyway, bottom line is this. You can use whatever word you want. If Jonathan Kuminga takes a step like that and 3 key scorers are off and you've still got a chance on the final possession, what word do you fill in the blank? What's the word? I don't think encouraged
disappointing.
Okay. I mean, I get it. Yeah, they lost, which is always disappointing.
That's a game that the old Warriors win. The game's in the balance.
Not always.
The game was in the balance, and you had 2 Splash Brother efforts. The first guy travels, and yes, it was a travel. Miss me with the whole, he didn't travel, his pivot foot.
He didn't traditionally.
Listen to Steph Curry in his own words in the postgame, and he said, well, I didn't think it was that bad. Which tells you that
quote, I didn't think it was a travel.
Well, then
quote, sentence,
and then you listen to the rest of his quote, and then you like to just clip the part that fits your narrative.
No, Steve Kerr said the same thing.
The rest of the quote is, I didn't think it was that bad, which means Steph knows that it was a travel, and then the second splash effort was a Klay Thompson miss. So you had 2 looks to still win that game, and you fell short.
Okay, Steph, let's hear it.
Curry's got the ball. 13 seconds. Here we go. Curry splitting traffic. Steps out. Leans back. He traveled. Turnover.
Oh, my.
He had plenty of time. 10.1 to go in the game.
He had a layup. He would have gone all the way to the basket. They were down by 2, but he was looking for a 3.
Great call.
A bang situation. Dumb play by me to not take the layup. I got a little confused on what the time on the score was, honestly. Went for the hero shot. I didn't think it was a travel to the point where you don't let the play run out. But who am I to say?
Who am I to say?
I didn't think it was a travel to the point that, and that's the key part. I didn't think it was a travel to the point that, so you thought that it was a travel, but not to the point that they would make that call.
I think you're putting thoughts in his head, quite frankly. Let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it again.
A bang situation. Dumb play by me to not take the layup.
Yeah.
I got a little confused on what the time on the score was, honestly. Went for the hero shot. I didn't think it was a travel to the point where you don't let the play run out. But who am I to say?
To let the play run out.
To the point.
Yeah.
To where you wouldn't let the play run out.
Yeah.
So in other words, what he's saying is, it's a travel. Everybody travels. I didn't think that it was a travel to the point that.
Listen, I mean, it ends up being semantics.
And
we all
think
know.
The bigger point is, dude, you don't know the game situation, Steph?
Yeah, well,
what are you doing,
look,
bro?
Fair.
Wake up, Curry.
Well, I mean, he sits on the grenade on that one. I love it. There's accountability there, so that's fine.
And he's right. If down 2, he could have attacked
the basket. You're probably either going to get a layup. Luka's waiting for you. You're probably going to have
Luka.
Well, but you're going to have a corner 3 for someone else available. But then again, both of those guys available, not shooting the ball very well last night.
And you're not getting the call if there's contact going to the hoop because you're Steph Curry and you don't get that call.
Right. Well, I mean, again, these are all things that are happening in a split-second moment. I'm not going to come down Stephen damn Curry's road because he didn't go to the basket or he didn't think through the process of I'm not going to get a call if I go to the rim. Right. If he's thinking about calls, I'm pretty sure he'd be thinking, well, they're not going to call me for traveling right here because, I'm Steph damn Curry.
Damn.
You're going to take that away from this entire global audience right now? And Ref was like, yeah, I think I will. So you can fill in the blank with whatever word you want. If you want to use encouraging, great. If you want to use disappointing, I look at a game like that and I have reeled back to where I thought I would have been in November, which is on a Tuesday, the worst day of the week, unequivocally.
Sure was yesterday.
Exactly. On a Tuesday in November with a team that has been playing well and has won 5 of their last 6 ball games when their players actually play.
That's a caveat.
Why on earth would I care that they lost a road game by 3 points on a night where 3 of their top scorers didn't shoot the ball well? Like that's a blow-off game. It's not, yay, they're close. I'm not doing that, but I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised. That game looked kind of exactly like I thought it would look. They were right there. Move on to the next one. That's my reaction.
I'm disappointed. I'm not disgusted because if you look at that game, and Dallas is not very good. And I apologize to Bonte and his league pass, his beloved league. They have an unbelievable player. They have a couple of pretty good players, one of whom got thrown out. Let's remember that. You had a guy in that game get ejected. Spencer Dinwiddie only played 22 minutes and 45 seconds. He got thrown out for a blatant elbow to the face of Jordan Poole. So you basically had Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr., and a bunch of nobodies. And you weren't good enough to win that game. And by the way, that was another road game. And so far this year, you have stunk on the road. And yes, Klay Thompson wasn't very good. By the way, not the first time Klay Thompson's been bad. 2 of 9 from Klay, 1 of 6 from 3. Jordan Poole, 9 field goal attempts. I don't know why Jordan Poole's not playing as aggressively as he used to. And Andrew Wiggins, go ahead and cue up the K-Wig because K-Wig is back, ladies and gentlemen. The format is ready to return. 4 of 11, 10 points.
A bad night.
Hey, everybody. I know it's November.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to smooth you on out because you know what?
Don't you do this.
I don't do this until May and June because I'm Andrew Wiggins.
Don't you do Andrew like this.
It's K-Wig.
No.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep it locked. 4 of 11. Excuse me, Mark, if you wouldn't mind, Daddy. You know how many rebounds he had?
I do mind, actually.
You know how many rebounds he had?
I don't.
He had one sweet rebound.
It's a beautiful board.
One time the ball went up off the rim, and I happened to be there, and you know what?
Nope.
I corralled it.
I'm not into it.
I had 2 assists.
Nope.
They were mostly accidental.
I hate this.
I didn't have any turnovers. You know why? I wasn't that involved in the action, Daddy. 10 total points, a minus 23. Keep it locked. On a night where they needed me,
I
wasn't there.
I changed the station.
It's K-Wig.
I went back to 95.7 the game.
You can change it all you want,
I don't want to listen to this K-Wig junk because I'm not.
4 of 11, 10 points, 2 rebounds.
Listen,
1 rebound.
I'm not doing this to players. I am not going to be box score Betty. I don't want to do that with the Warriors or any team. I'm not showing up after games and going, oh, my God, you went 4 of 12? You
4 of
stink.
11.
Stop. Like, come on.
I'm not trying to say
Everybody's
that Wiggins has to be traded.
They've all got nights. He's been good this year. Wiggins, yes or no? Good this year.
He's been great.
Okay.
But last
night,
in a spot where Klay wasn't good, Jordan Poole wasn't a factor. Andrew Wiggins, these are the games you cannot have from Andrew Wiggins. And this is why.
No, these are the games
Mark,
that any human being has. This is
show some interest in the ball game.
I mean, has Steph Curry ever had a bad game? Has Luka ever had a bad game?
Has Steph Curry ever had a game where he shot the ball like 7 times and he basically was floating?
No, there are times where you'd wish he shot the ball 7 times. I remember being in L.A., watching him against the Lakers. There's like 0 for 12 from 3. So, like, come on, man. Like, he's been very good this year. I'm not
1 rebound, 2 assists.
I'm not coming down.
Minus 23.
Yeah, I'm not coming down someone's road for a game.
I'm coming down his road for a game. I'm not saying that Wiggins has to go or that he's a bum. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm looking at one game where you went to Dallas and you played against, okay, Dallas is a good team, Western Conference Finals rematch and all the rest of it, and you had 3 of your top 4 guys basically play badly.
Spadone, game show music, if you would, please. You know how many teams in the Western Conference, or would you rather do the entire NBA, Dan Dibley? How many teams have a winning record on the road?
Oh, boy, that's probably not more than 4 or 5. I'll say 5.
I'm talking about the whole NBA or the Western Conference?
The whole association.
The whole National Basketball Association. The answer is 6. But 2 of them are 5 and 4. That would be the Indiana Pacers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Both of them are 5-4. Yeah, they're not going to be 5-4 for long because you're going to get their butts kicked by the Warriors here within the next week. The Celtics are 7-3. Your number 1 seed in the Western Conference, your number 1 seed, the Phoenix Suns, 3-5 on the road. Your only winning records on the road in the Western Conference belong to the Denver Nuggets at 8-5. They're just happy that they can breathe when they leave home. Also, surprisingly, the Los Angeles Clippers at 6-4 with a winning record. And then oddly, the Portland Trailblazers, who have a losing record at home, yet a 7-5 winning record on the road.
Mark, do you know how many teams in the Western Conference have a worse road record than the Golden State Warriors?
That'd be none.
1 is the correct answer.
Okay. Really?
The Dallas Mavericks at 1-7. A 12.5 winning percentage. The Warriors are 2-10 on the road.
I didn't call them a good road team, but they're definitely.
I'm going to say it again for impact. The Warriors are 2-10.
It doesn't land
on the road.
No impact.
It should land.
Why? Because we already know the context of what they looked like 3 weeks ago.
They've got to win 8 more road games in a row to get back to 500.
They don't need to be 500. There's no rule that states that. So you're going to tell me that they look right now on the road the same way they did on that 0-5 trip? Come on.
No.
Come on.
But
come on. Losing
since
to
that
Charlotte
0-5
and Detroit.
road trip, they're 2-5 on the road. Hey, moral victory, everybody.
No, again, I'm not
Hands
using that
in the
phrase.
middle.
I won't use that phrase. Oscar in Stockton.
Help me, Oscar.
Lead us off. I don't think you're going to get a lot of help from listeners
Help
today.
me, Big O.
Let's see. What up, Oscar? What are you doing?
All right, now just dropped my son off at school, but yeah, I'm not panicking about the Warriors game, but last night one thing I didn't like is that how the referees be, they say the Warriors foul a lot because y'all call a lot of tic-tac fouls on us, and on the other squad you don't call no fouls on Curry going to the rim. I'm not going to complain about that, but the bench played better. And like you just said, Wiggins was lofting out there. He had a bad game, but on defense, some of the stuff he was lofting. He, every now and then the Warriors have a bad game, but I was encouraged the way how the bench and Kuminga played. That was the only thing I really was encouraged about. Other than that, Poole had a bad game. Clay had a bad game. Like you say, they should have won the game or at least tied, went to overtime. But I was encouraged, that's about it.
Hey, Oscar.
Great call,
yeah,
Oscar. I'm with you on Kuminga.
How old's your kid that you just dropped off?
7.
He's 17. He's a senior.
Hey, man. Keep being an awesome dad. Thank you for listening,
Thank you,
man.
Oscar.
I heard the word encouraged. That's all I heard.
About Jonathan Kuminga.
He's encouraged by the bench. By the whole bench, he said.
Yeah.
Although Jordan Poole came off the bench.
And Draymond Green had some great quotes after the game talking about the bench because all 5 starters were in the minus on plus-minus.
Mm-hmm.
4 of the 5 on the bench. JaMychal Green was a -2. Who cares? But the 4 key bench players were all in the positive. So, and that's where I look at, hey, baby, it's K-Wig. Honestly, 4 of 11, 1 rebound. You can't look at that and say, I'm encouraged by Andrew Wiggins.
You're a micromanager of fans. That's what you are.
I look at a game.
You're a micromanager. You got an employee that is out there kicking rear end over a lengthy period of time.
And then what happens?
Comes to work and he's sluggish one time, and you get up in him. You get up in him and tell him he's doing something wrong. He's now a bad employee.
In a loss?
Come on, man.
Absolutely.
That ain't life.
Dude,
that ain't life.
It's life in this
that
building.
I don't
know if you know.
You ever come in sluggish,
show
Daddy?
Meeting today. You think
Not
that
a show meeting
haven't,
today.
You think that I
Get
haven't
your calendar straight. It's been moved to tomorrow.
You think that I haven't been pulled into a side office after a sluggish show? After a 4 of 11 and 1 rebound performance?
Maybe it's too many sluggish shows in a row.
Maybe it's just the one sluggish show. Where maybe I came down your road a little too firmly.
Yeah, well,
and I got pulled into a side meeting.
That's right.
So, again, I'm not overreacting to one loss to Dallas, but I'm looking at a game that the old Warriors, the championship Warriors, they don't lose this game.
I'm not
2-10 on the road is real.
First of all, yes, they did. And yes, they do. We do this. Our memory always, when something ends good, we only remember the good. What do we think last year? Oh, championship. Oh, so you forgot January and February and March when y'all were freaking out and ripping every single piece of this team.
They were hurt.
Okay.
They had a full complement last night off of rest.
So, acting like they never lost games on Tuesdays in November is inaccurate. Here's the way I would talk about last night. I come out of last night with a sum total of Zero concerns. Zero concerns. That's the only time a loss bothers me. If you come out of there and you're like, what I'm seeing right there concerns me. If you got 3 players that have an off shooting night, but you have a bench player that you've been talking a lot about, and he comes out and has the best game in the history of his career, and the team loses a close game against a playoff opponent on the road, I have no concerns. There's nothing that bothered me about. I'm sure I wanted them to win. They didn't. There's nothing concerning about last night. Nothing.
Well, to me, it's concerning that you haven't found a way to win really any game on the road. You're 2-10 on the road. Dallas is a team that I don't believe is a playoff team, and you can say, oh, Western Conference Finals rematch. Well, this Dallas team is not that Dallas team. They don't have Jalen Brunson. You lost Spencer Dinwiddie.
They're a playoff team even right now.
Quarter.
Even playing poorly, they're a playoff team.
Right now?
They're in the play-in tournament.
They're the 9 seed.
They're the 10 seed, actually.
They're
the Warriors are the 9 seed.
Team. They're not a playoff team. They're a play-in team. And that's a very serious distinction in my world in terms of, like the Kings, they're a playoff team.
I don't know.
They're the 6th seed.
I always looked at it this way. Same thing with those whatever happens in Dayton in March Madness or whatever. Look, when the regular season ends, do you have more games on your schedule? If you do, you made the playoffs. At a kid.
Well,
Good
if you
job.
look at the Basketball Reference playoff ledger, the game that the Warriors lost to Memphis is not a playoff game.
You're such a rules guy.
Oh, you have to be.
No, you don't.
If they don't call it a playoff game, why would I call it a playoff game?
You drive 65?
Always. Hands at 2-10.
Stop it.
Check my driving record, Holmes. You know how many tickets?
Have you ever gotten a ticket?
I got a ticket one time, and it was Steve Rabb's fault. It was 1986.
Always someone else's fault.
Well, actually, it wasn't his fault, but he actually said, oh, where's the cop when I need one? I ran a red light, and the next thing, whoop, whoop. I was on Sir Francis Drake Boulevard.
Oh.
I don't know if we
why'd
can
you
call
run
it
a
that
red?
anymore.
Or did you, were you trying to hit a yellow, or did you just decide,
it was one
bleep
of those
it, I'm
times
going?
where, so you're driving, right, and you see it go yellow, and you're like, I really don't feel like stopping.
Yeah.
It's one of those times where you knew there was no other car.
It's a split-second decision. It's like Steph shooting or driving. It's like a split-second call.
Yeah. Unlike Steph, I mean, I knew how much time there was left on the light.
All right.
I just ran it and thought, I'm going to get away with it. Steve Rabb, where's the cop when I need one? Because I famously had gotten him a ticket about 6 months earlier.
Oh, he got you back.
Well, he picked me up for school all year, and there was one of these things where it was like, no right turn, 7 to 9 a.m., and there was a cop already with another person. A cop's already writing a ticket. And I said, dude, just go right. That cop's busy. They're not going to. So we go right, and the cop steps out, mid-ticket, steps out.
No way.
Stop sign, points.
Hip thrust.
It was a block.
Stop sign. Hit the back of the head. Get your butt over the curb.
Ticket, totally.
Sean and San Bruno. Hey, Sean, you're on Willard and Dibs. What the heck are you doing?
How you guys doing? Thanks for taking the call.
What's up?
Dibs, you got to lay off Wiggs, man. Oh?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he'd like a response, Dibs.
No.
You got to lay off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 27 minutes, 1 rebound. Yeah, I'll lay off him. Just like he laid off going to the glass.
It's a bad day at work, one day.
You ever had one of those, Sean?
Oh, yeah. I had plenty of those. But more good days than bad.
That's all you can do.
Sean, to me, Sean, there's a difference between a, quote, bad day at work and a day where you basically barely showed up.